Okay, people, so a lot of y'all have been hitting me up for a few days now saying, yo, what's going on, Fornev? Why you ain't talking about the God of High School? Episode 1 just dropped. Where you at, fam? Where you at? And I ain't gonna lie, I peeped it. I watched it. I checked it out. I was like, yo, I gotta see what all the hype is about. I mean, to be honest with you, I was gonna check it out anyway. It's been on my radar. But I was like, alright, God of High School. We finished Tower of God Season 1. Let's check out the next webtoon anime adaptation. And boy, drop me a like right now if you felt that animation would save lives. Yo, that animation. I cannot stress enough that animation, oh my god. If only more anime were able to have that level of animation, that quality, that oh my god. And then fights, oh my god. Yeah, people, God of High School. Let's talk about some of this. Let's see where does it stand right now. Could this be the anime of the year? Could this save anime and manga? Like, well, not manga because it's a manhwa webtoon, but you know what I mean. Could it save the anime? Like, let's do it, baby.
I say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be, though.
So the summer season of anime has kicked off, and we got the God of High School. Now, to be honest with you, upon talking about this, I want to say, first of all, one of the things that it reminds me of, the premise that we have set up so far, because it's a simple setup. Like, it's not the most complex. Like, if you're coming from Tower of God, and you appreciated Tower of God for its story and its intricacies, which I'm only judging off the first episode. I don't know what the God of High School becomes later on. I'm only judging off that. So before people come in like, yo fam, don't make me bust your cap. Don't be talking down on God of High School. Relax. Because it's basically like the Dark Tournament of Yu Yu Hakusho. It's a giant tournament. It starts off with a battle royale, and the winner gets one of their wishes that they want granted from the committee, I'm assuming, of this whole, tournament, this whole organization and whatnot. So very, very simplistic thing there. So if you're coming in and you're wanting like a very, very crazy story, as of right now, it doesn't seem to be the case. Again, it could build up, and there's a lot of really interesting setups that I've seen so far. And I also want to talk quickly too, to get this out the way, because I know webtoon readers are probably screaming, because one of the things I've seen, some not too much, but some backlash that I've seen is people saying that it is flying through the material. I read one person told me that it was like 7 of the webtoon chapters adapted in this one episode. Am I off on this, or am I getting misinformed, or what's up with that? Because I did feel as though it was extremely fast paced. I'm not gonna lie, because in a nutshell, in case you ain't watched the episode, it was basically like, hey, Jin Mori, main character seemingly of the God of High School, is on his way. There's like a old lady that gets her purse snatched, and then he starts going after that guy. Then it kind of reminded me of like Pokemon, when Ash and Misty met with the girl that he smashed her glasses, and then eventually we get a little flashback of him in the rain as a child, and then boom, we're in this big tournament with, yo, is it just me, or was anybody else screaming out there, see, like, yo, Shorty did a stone cold stunner, what the hell, and then popped the like, oh my gosh, like Crunchyroll, I'm gonna give them mad props. I know they're only like partially involved, like they're one of the backers behind it. They're not the ones animating it, but they know what they're doing right now. And again, I feel as though this is a huge revolution with going from Tower of God to God of High School. And this episode, it was just like visually breathtaking. Like from Jin Mori being on the bicycle, all the flips and stunts and maneuvers, it just looked amazing. And by the way, I'm not the best with the names, so forgive me. Like, I read 100,000 things, but the shorty with the glasses that got her glasses smashed up by Jin Mori, very, very interesting. I was kind of curious, because you can see there's more to her when she's there with the dudes with muscles, and she's like, oh, I really like your muscles. But at first she was hearing his heartbeat. I was kind of like, wonder what's up with that. Like, definitely very, very peculiar, because I'm trying to catch everything as I'm watching the episode. Like, okay, what does this mean? What does that mean? Because it seems as though we had like a setup with 3 different characters. We also had the one dude that eventually knocked out the guy on the motorcycle that stole from the old lady. So we had a few different setups and introductions, but it did feel fast paced. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I'd be denying it. Like, it felt like they wanted to bang the living shit out of our buck for this first episode. I mean, again, the whole bicycle running after the motorcycle dude, the tournament starting, like, there was a lot crammed and packed into this first episode, which again, I think it's going to lead to a great impact in certain aspects, but I'm definitely noticing, and I'm assuming that it's going to be the same case that what a lot of webtoon readers of Tower of God were saying, is that they're kind of not doing the best in terms of spreading out for an adaptation. And I look at it from a different perspective. I look at it from okay, this is a new thing that they're doing. Like webtoons, I don't even know, has there ever been, aside from Tower of God, a webtoon that's been adapted into a full-blown, very, very expensive anime production? So these are tests that they're doing right now to see if people care, to see if people are going to latch on. And from what I've seen so far, people really are excited. Like Tower of God was huge, and it looks like God of High School. People keep telling me about the fights that we got in this one, because so far the fights looked incredible. I was like, I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, really, we're doing this right now? And I think that God of High School, to be honest with you, might turn out to be anime of the summer. It might be anime of the summer because the fights, the art, and the animation were insane. But here's where I'm going to stop with the repetitive nature of saying that the fights, the art, and the animation, because I feel as though those were the three strong points and strong elements of this first episode so far. It was like more so the aesthetics that were very, very pleasing. But in terms of giving me a story to really grab me, so far it doesn't have that for me. Again, maybe you disagree or whatever, but it just seems as though a very, very simple setup, a whole bunch of martial artists going to this tournament. There was some zany stuff that happened along the way, and yeah, you win, you get a giant prize from whatever the hell you could wish for and shit like that. So it seemed very, very basic, very, very simple. I'm not sure where this is all going to lead, and from what I remember, to be honest with you, because I read like two or three chapters of the webtoon, a lot of it wasn't even in there, because I remember it being very different with Jin Mori having like a fight and what led to everything. Like, I felt like there was just missing pieces. Like, don't get me wrong, it started off insane where these dudes are on a beach and they're getting into an argument. Next thing you know, it looks like somebody stomped out the beach. So I'm curious what the hell happened there. I thought it was like helicopters that came down or some shit, but like you see, it's just like a giant footprint of what was once that little private island. I'm like, what the fuck is going on there? So we got some small mysteries and build-ups and setups that have been showcased in this episode, but in terms of just a grandiose story, it seems like I'm going to enjoy it for the aesthetics. I'm going to enjoy it for the fights. I might even enjoy it for the characters, because right now it seems as though it's giving us some very, very interesting and fun and wacky characters, similar to like Tower of God, but I could potentially see myself liking these even more. One, because I like action. Two, the females are badass as hell. Like I said, shorty with the glasses that got blown, shorty with the bubble gum dropping the Stone Cold Stunner on dude. Like, it was just friggin' insane. Although I just wish they would have focused more on, again, the story elements, like getting that flashback. I was interested in seeing a young Jim Morty with the guy in the middle of the rain that was talking to him, and he was kind of sad and crying and shit like that. I would have liked a little bit more focus on that, and I think maybe one of the things that's going to be to the God of High School's detriment is the fact that they're going so freaking fast, and the story is kind of not all formulating, and I'm not feeling like I understand every single detail. It just seems so simple that I'm like, am I missing something, or is it going to be explained later? But that's not to say, again, that it didn't kick ass. Like, in terms of, like, I could see this being the breakout hit of the summer, and again, it's another webtoon. Like, I'm very, very interested now, even more so in webtoons. I've been hearing about them for years and shit like that, but you knocked out a whole season of incredibleness with Tower of God, and you're kicking off another one, which seems like it's going to be an action series times 1,000, and there's already people that are debating back and forth saying, like, these are the greatest fights of all time. I don't know about that. Relax. It's great. It's awesome. I loved it, but I don't know if it's the greatest fights of all time. They're even saying like, oh, these are better fights than Naruto. Like, huh? We just started this shit. Chill out. But I like what I saw so far. Again, to sum it all up, I liked what I saw so far. I liked the action. The characters seemed cool. Give me more story. Let's understand things a little bit more, why these characters tick, which again, only first episode. I'm not bashing it. I'm not saying that this was trash or anything, by far from that. I'm just saying that as the story progresses, I want more of those elements to make the fights a little more meaningful, because you gotta have incredible looking fights, great fights, all of that shit, but if there's no meaning behind it and we don't understand like the vendetta between Jim Morty and the other guy wanting that, Jim Morty wanting that rematch and shit like that, I want to understand more of these elements, which again, I want to say, and maybe I missed it, but I want to say in the webtoon that was revealed in like chapter 1, or that was showcased in chapter 1. So slow it down, and I don't see them doing that, so I'm a little nervous on that end. But I'm very, very curious what a lot of you guys think of it. How did you feel about the first episode of the God of High School? What do you think about the action? Do you think that this is going to be the breakout hit of the summer and one of animes of the year? Like, it's so weird that these Korean manhwa, these webtoons, these Korean comics are actually like becoming a real big thing with these anime, and I'm not mad at it at all, because because it's not like I have a strict allegiance to only Japanese anime. Like, whatever gets it done. And again, it was an action-packed, really, really banging first episode, and I like what I see so far, but I'm not gonna jump through the moon yet because I want a little bit more clarification on things, and I want to understand the story a little bit better, because right now it's like Dark Tournament godlike animation. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the God of High School moving forward? Woo! Get ready for the AMVs, people. The AMVs from the God of High School fights, they're coming. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy! Have an awesome day. Peace in, and strap on your boots, people. We're going in for an incredible ride. Action-packed as hell. God of High School Episode 1. Let's do it.
Everything good always comes to an end. If you stab me in my back, we can never make amends. Trying to move to acceptance, hard to accept it. Mistakes like mirrors, gotta reflect it. I don't wanna fucking leave, but I gotta leave. Leave the maybes to the crazies. Maybe one day there I go, admitting something in a subtle way. No more copies, leave without a trace.